Okay, so we've just walked back here into the laboratory. I like using this style of long-handled scissors for trimming. They're very sharp and you have a lot of torque. You really don't need it for trimming this material, but it's just kind of the scissors that I like to use. So I'm going to trim up some of this in the front. Trim up this little thin edge here. And then this posterior material is really not necessary. I'll trim that off. Okay, it looks pretty good. Down in here there's a little bit excess there. It's not necessary. Trim that off. This side, a couple little areas. That looks good in here. I'm going around back. You can see that that's going up the retromolar area. Trim a little bit of that off. And then the rest I'm going to do with a slow speed handpiece. The burr that I like to use for this is a crosscut burr. But the nice thing about this is at high speed it smooths out the material very well. Now, of course, GC also has specialized burrs for trimming the material. This is what I found to be best. So I turn that up to maximum on my slow speed handpiece, and then I'm going to trim back here in the retromolar area. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Now this is an impression of the patient's mouth, of course, but still, just like the denture or partial, if there's extra pressure there, that's going to be uncomfortable. So I go ahead and just round that off a little bit in there, and you can see that this is very smooth in how that's leaving the GC reline material. Doesn't grab or rip the material at all. Okay, and that's pretty much it. There's a little bit of material interproximally. We can go ahead and trim that up. That won't have anything to do with the retention of the appliance. So I can cut that out interproximally. That side looks good. Okay. Let me just clean that up here. And just take the denture brush. Okay, that's the finished appliance. Okay, now we're ready to take it back in the patient's mouth and make sure it feels okay. Cool. So back in the room now with the trimmed appliance. I'm going to have the patient go ahead and pop that in yourself. And the first time they put it in, sometimes it will take a little moving of the jaw to get used to it. Go ahead and let me see. So we have that initial position, which is basically end to end. Go ahead and feel around with your lips, your tongue, your cheeks, and tell me if there's any place that feels rough or pokey. Feels okay? Okay. Go ahead and pop that out again for me. All right. And we would just clean that up, and then that's it.